Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 82 of the Hunger for the Hustle podcast. I've got a guest on today. I've been trying to get him on for a while. You have to catch this man in the moment because he's a busybody man. He's never in one place. My good friend, Morrice S Baker, is a 25-year-old Jamaican who enjoys traveling, loves football, and wants to someday become the best sports publicist and journalist in the world. Morrice, brother, it's a pleasure to have you joining me. How are you this evening?
I am great, man. It's good to be finally here. You know, it's good to.
Yeah. Like I say, you're a busy guy, and it's hard to narrow you down. So I actually just had to get hold of you the other week and go, bro, look, this is happening. Do it. Here's the link. Book it in.
Make it happen.
Where are you at the moment? You're in New York.
I am. Yep.
Yeah. Wait, it's snowing there. You just told me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of snow. It's a bit of snow coming down.
Polar opposites. I think it's heading for 40 degrees here today. So. Yeah, very, very different parts of the world, but same kind of things happening, you know, everyone's laying low, doing their thing. But, you know, it doesn't stop you working, does it, as we found, actually? And this is kind of links into how we got to meet each other kind of middle of last year, wasn't it?
True.
I wanted to learn how to do public speaking. You did too. I'm not going to blow my own trumpet, but I think we both did a pretty good job of figuring it out, finding someone who could teach us. Who was someone we both followed for a long time. So, man, I'll let you tell us more about that, how that came around for you.
You know, with COVID and all that's happening, it's tough and there's difficulties surrounding it. But there's always a possibility that we can find some good in the bad, you know, and that's definitely how we met through the great Les Brown and his speaking program. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. I've met some wonderful people through that, and you're one of them, man, and I'm grateful for them kind of connections. So that's brought us here. You know, speaking about, we shared the stage together not too long ago. What's it, October 24th?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, you were a little after me, but it was the same event, same stage.
Same event, yeah. And I remember speaking about it and how intense it was. How, you know, it was a great experience, brilliant experience. That's something that will definitely take with us for the rest of our lives, man. So,
sure, man, for sure.
I
think about that, and I think like that'd be something like when you got kids, grandkids one day. That'd be like, I'll pull you out and show you this. This is the first time I ever spoke to anyone, any audience, anywhere in the world. It'd be something that's just always there. No one could ever take away from you. And I'd be like, who's this guy with the high top? And I'd be like, oh, that guy. That
was me back in the day, you know. Tell him that. That's when.
But then we embarked on the training. What made you want to? What led you to the training? What led you there? What made you like seek it out and find it?
Do you know? I've been following Les from 2014, I think, and he was. I listened to Les so much that I could even recite some of his speeches. Like I could, you know, and he was the one that he was my motivational speaker when I was up and when I was down and throughout my college soccer career. And so I've always wanted the opportunity to you know, watch him speak live or to learn from him or to have a conversation with him. And so when that opportunity presented itself, I wasn't gonna let it pass me by, man, and I haven't regretted it. So, and I don't think I ever will. So that's amazing, and it brought me, you know, that what that did is it gave me the confidence to go forward and to encourage others, and to do something that I've always wanted to do, but I never got the permission per se to do it. So he definitely gave me the license to go forward and do it, and I'm excited, man. It's been brilliant, you know. And you know, as you speak about the hunger for the hustle, that's definitely the journey both of us have been on, and I've been fueled by that, and I've been using what Les has taught us, and I've been implementing other strategies with that and doing everything and anything to make it work.
Yeah, because I mean, as well as teaching us, there was like one-on-ones, couple hours every week. One to many, so it was, you know, sometimes it was one-on-one if you got picked to work with him. which everyone did. Everyone got their turn. But there was gems inside the gems, wasn't there? He was teaching us how to speak, but there was like so many life lessons there that you could apply to so many things, be it your business, your relationships, your finances, just such a wealth of knowledge inside there that even if you'd listened, as you and I both had for many years, to every YouTube video that's out there, you're still catching some bits and some gems that you wouldn't have otherwise heard. And like you say, we both went into that as, we want to be speakers, we want to speak to the world on big stages. There's still an element of me that wants to do that, and I believe I will. But I think I've kind of digressed into a bit more of a hosting role, as I am here with the podcast. Still do speaking events, got one coming up in a couple of days, but it's not the main driver and focus of everything for me now. And I think that's fine. That's something we both chatted about the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think what it mostly was is, we went in with the intention of learning to be speakers, and we were taught a lot more than just how to be a speaker. We were taught how to find our purpose and how to navigate towards that. We were taught how to find ourselves and how to act on the things that we want from life. And I think what that did, it showed me that I didn't only want to be a speaker. I wanted to be, a journalist, a publicist. I wanted to do all these things, and it gave me the courage to drive forward and do them. And I think that's what the course has done. Not just, he taught us how to speak, but he also taught us how to find our purpose and how to do what we want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, like I always, like George Bernard Shaw says, do what you can where you are with what you have and never be satisfied. So I think that's something that he's taught us as well. How to just use what we have.
Yeah, just to keep moving. Yeah. I mean, you see him even at 75, he's still moving, man. He's still, starting new projects, starting new things all the time. I mean, he doesn't stop. And I think, man, I'm 32. I've got so much more. You got so much more time on me. But it motivates you, doesn't it? And it was so much fun as well. Just so much fun.
Yeah, loads of fun.
Like Les is someone who always has the capacity and the ability to laugh at himself.
True.
In like a silly way or a serious way. You can say the most serious thing and then just break it down completely afterwards with that laugh of his. And it just reminds you that every day is a day worth being grateful for and smiling and enjoying. Particularly, you got to see, I thought, a very personal side of Les Brown when he was doing some of those lessons, particularly, when he's still battling through, or was battling through. I'm not sure where he's at with the journey with the cancer stuff. Right. And you could see, some days weren't as easy as others, and it's just been for the treatment and things like that. And you really got to see that side of it. It was a really interesting insight into that, into his world, I thought.
I think what he does is he makes the journey of life fun, despite what's happening. And he showed that he's in charge of what happens to him, what happens around him. And he laughs about things that we probably would cry about. And I guess he's just got a different way of dealing with things altogether. And, just being able to handle life as it comes, it's definitely a talent. And he's mastered that. So.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the more you've been through, the better equipped you are to deal with it. And, you've certainly been through a lot of things, certainly been through a whole host of things. When I read his latest book, You've Got to Be Hungry, that revealed even more things that I didn't even know about, some addictions he had and things like that. We've got a question on the side here from Malcolm Free. I'll get it up on the screen. Morrice, what is the difference in your mindset before and after the Power Voice training?
Wow. Before the training, I was hiding, man. I was in my own little world, just trying to find something that I was looking for something, but I wasn't looking for it in the right places. And I wasn't mentally fortified, as Les would call it. And then after the training, it rebuilt my belief system, and I was able to just step forward and just claim the things that are rightfully mine, and I work for them. And ever since then, I've been hungry for the hustle, and I've just been doing whatever it takes, 100%. And I have no fear. I think in life, we learn from our failures. And so I welcome my failures. I'm okay with failing, because then it's an experience. It's a learning experience. I'll put that on my CV or my resume and say, hey, listen, I've done that and I failed. And now I'll go back to the drawing board and just figure it out. Say, what have I done wrong? What do I need to do to make that better? And then just go at it again. So that's the mentality. My mentality has changed a lot since being able to be a part of the Les Brown program. So
yeah, and I agree with you there. I think that you know, we go on this journey, and you never sure where it's going to go, and of course you make mistakes along the way with any journey, right? We all make mistakes, or failures, you know, however you look at them, but they're part of it. They're lessons. The real only failure for me, I think, is if you actually quit, or if you keep making the same mistakes again. That's just a bit stupid, right? But still, we find ourselves doing it sometimes, right? We still find ourselves doing it because we're not perfect. We're human, and then sometimes we have to keep making them mistakes and keep making them failures until it gets to one point where it's like, hey, this is rock bottom, man. This is pinch time. You really need to learn this time.
You know what? I'm not the host, but I actually want to ask you that question, Vic.
Okay. What's
the difference in the mindset?
Okay. Well, self-belief, I think for me, I knew for quite a long time that I enjoyed speaking and that I could use my voice to help others. You know, I've always liked speaking, which is something that helps, you know, and I enjoy talking a lot. Sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse, depends who I'm with. And I'd actually find myself kind of going into speeches and things like that, usually at parties around other people, but usually once I'd had a bit of alcohol in me, because he gave me the confidence and the boost and the belief to be able to think that I could do it. And I'd start and I'd go and people would be like, that's great, carry on. And I'd be like, oh, that's kind of all I've got. And then, but this taught me that without any external factors, with just working on it in myself, finding out what my message actually is, how I need to project it out to help other people. And yes, I can do it. And the best way to learn and get the confidence and the belief to do it is just to actually do it and keep doing it and get practice. And you know, Les said to us, one of the things he said is form a mastermind group, find 6 other people, and then as well as yourself, form that group with them and work with them, keep in contact with them regularly. And that's exactly what we did, didn't we? We formed our own Speaker Speak group, a little Facebook group we called Speaker Speak, just a messenger chat. And we caught up every week. And I think 95% of the people in that group ended up on the Power Voice on the Power Voice stage. So it's no surprise at all. But yeah, if I had to pin it down, the main mindset change for me would be going from borrowing someone else's belief, which is what I did throughout the program. You know, when I spoke to Les, he believed in me, that I had a voice and had a message and I could share it. And so did John Tallarico and all you other guys in the little group we formed, borrowing that belief to having the belief in myself. And man, you know, like once we actually did it and spoke at the Power Voice Summit, the elation, the feeling after we'd done it was just amazing. I couldn't get to sleep that night. I remember my partner, my girlfriend went to bed and she was like, yeah, you're going to come to bed in a bit? I was like, yeah, I'll come in a bit. And he was like, man, it was like midnight then. It was like 4 a.m. before I could finally even get into bed, before I was like relaxed enough coming down from the buzz, the high. So yeah, man, it changed my confidence. It changed my beliefs is the 2 main things it changed in my mindset.
Wow. Listen,
that answer.
I remember my days there when I spoke, and I was wow. You know, it was intense. It was like everything you it's like everything you ever dreamed of just being right there. And it was brilliant. I enjoyed it, man. I remember watching you as well, and I was like, go on, Jake, go on.
It was so good. It was so good. And it I tell you one other thing it made me realise as well, because it's quite an unusual thing to pursue, public speaking. It's actually, I learned afterwards that more people are scared of speaking publicly than they are of dying, which I think is a crazy statistic. I guess I would think it was a bit more crazy because I'm not really that scared of doing it, but before I suppose I was. So it's a weird thing to pursue, and a lot of people, you know, think, well, that's crazy. Why are you doing that? Why would you do that? And it taught me a lot of the people who were around me who would back me, no matter what I did, no matter how crazy and wild it was. It showed me who those people were, and then it showed me a few of those people weren't. But I still went with it anyway, of course, and pulled it off, and had a lot of fun with it. I think that's one of the main things I also learned from it is have a lot of fun. Just enjoy it. If you're not enjoying the speech, then the people who are receiving it aren't going to enjoy it as much either.
You know, you made a good point where you said that showed you who were with you and who weren't. And I call that the exposure period. And I think that comes in our lives before we get to that path where we want to be, because there are people that we've got to. I think Les' son is the one that said this, know who you can count on and who you can count out.
Yeah.
John Leslie Brown said that. And that's what it did, that transition. It was long, it was tough, it was difficult over the time, just being a part of Les Brown's course and just like changing your mindset. It was difficult because then you started to lose people, you started to gain people, and you were like, wait, this whole time these people weren't meant to be a part of this. And then you meet new people who show you so much more love, so much more support than those people before. So I think it showed us who you can count on and who you should count out, and that's definitely another part of how it changed my mindset as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's particularly something you said that we met a lot of new people in it who are, of course, more than happy to support you because they were going through the same thing. But it was a strange time because, particularly for me, when I got into it, June, July, August, started to get better in September. That was when the pandemic was, and the lockdown, really, the pandemic wasn't actually that bad, but they locked it down real strict here and real stringent. So I wasn't really having that much interaction apart from my partner at the time with people in the outside world. But I was meeting all these new people online all the time, and a lot of them were just creating these friendships like I have with you, and just creating these really good, solid friendships with people who you can never win with them because they don't want to compete with you. They just want you to do as well as them anyway.
We all want to win together, yeah.
Yeah. It was like, they just want you to, genuinely just good people who want you to do well. And I can't wait to get out there and traveling the world. We were just saying before, you're going to come over here, I'm going to come over there. Who knows who will get which one done first?
Yeah.
And that's a good segue, man. Let's talk about traveling because you've lived in a lot of different. How many different places have you lived in?
Oh man, everywhere, man. I've been there.
Yeah, you've lived throughout you've lived, born in Jamaica, grew up in the UK, and then you went to America, right?
Yeah, spend most of my childhood was definitely in Jamaica. So I would definitely I would use the patois today, but you probably wouldn't understand.
Go for it, man. I'm sure the audience will enjoy it.
But yeah, man, and you know what? The thing is about traveling is that it shows you so much, and you learn so much. You learn how to interact with all kinds of people, and it offers you such high level of intercultural competence. And I think that's the best part about traveling. I think I've been to around 20 countries or something like that, and I've just been able to connect with so many different people, been able to learn so much, and it made me a lot more open-minded because of the things that I see. And at first they were strange. I was like, wait, I'm not used to that. But then I got used to it. And I was like, wow, this is how it is here. This is how it is there. And every place is different. You meet different people who have different beliefs, who live different ways, done different things, and it just allowed you to see what the world really is like. So I think that contributed to who I am a lot these days. Apart from I think the biggest contribution to who I am is probably my mom. But apart from that, I have been able to find myself and figure out who I wanted to be from traveling the world and spending time elsewhere. I haven't been to Australia yet, but that's in the works. I mean, I've got to.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Once this world opens up, there's me and you are going to meet, man. It's going to have some fun, that's for sure. Definitely looking forward to hanging out with you, man. Definitely, but I think, travel does grow you. It grows your mind. It grows your body. It grows your soul. Particularly we were just talking. Out here in Melbourne, I live 10 minutes from the beach. It's summertime. You got to be beach ready, man. If your friend rings you up and you go hitting the beach, you got to be able to know that you can put them shorts on. You're looking good. You're feeling good. just in a hot minute. So like it can grow your body in a weird way as well, because you've got to be ready, you've got to be chiseled. But the mind and the social connections you make and all the different things you see and the cultures you like invariably inhale, I suppose, from just meeting so many different people. I think it makes me, it heightened my perception and my intuition, particularly to some people that you want to be attracted to and spend your time with, and that will help you grow. And then there's some that you don't want to. You're like, I get better at realizing them people coming in and no, I've seen folks like that before. I want to stay away from them type of people.
Yeah. And again, it's good because it allows you to focus on the people that you want to be in your life, and the people who have an impact on you. We've all got that one person in your life, or 2 or 3 people that will go any extent to make them proud. And I think that's definitely something that we need. And then we've got those people that we've got to stay away from them, or else they'll get you in trouble. Les calls them cookie people.
Okay.
He said cookie people are the people that you can call at night and tell them, hey, I got a flat tire, come and help me out. Or hey, I got arrested, come and get me out of jail. So that's what let's call them. But it's good to have cookie people, So, you, Jake, who is that person, or who are the people that keeps your drive alive?
Keeps my drive alive. Flipping the script here on me, bro. It's a good question, though. Who's the people that keep my drive alive? Well, my parents, for sure. And that's from a perspective of wanting to make them proud. I used to feel when I was younger a bit pressurized to do that. But then really when I had like some good conversations with my parents and realized that they were just happy for me if I was happy doing whatever I was doing. I didn't have to achieve big goals and big things. I just happened to be doing that anyway. That's cool. But I want to do that and be striving for it, of course. But yeah, so my parents in that respect, wanting to make them proud, they're a main driver. Who else? It's a good question. There's certain friends I connect with. Like I can certainly think. Like people like Michael Bridgman, he's someone who really inspires me, who I'm working on the Hunger for the Hustle book with, who came up with the idea, in fact. People like Jay Reese, who you know as well. I'm not just saying it because you're in front of me, but people like you. Like I see parts of myself in you because you're a bit younger than me. You're what, 25 or 26 now?
25. 26, yeah. Not yet. 25.
Yeah. Whoa. and I see you and I think, yeah, man, he's just out there. He's hungry. He's going for it. He doesn't let fear control him in any way. Doesn't let his environment control him in any way. He controls his environment. Anyone who actually I meet who does that, I respect that fully. Who else, man? I mean, my ex-partner as well. My ex-partner Emily, she always inspired me because she was someone who did what I did. Moved from one part of the world to the other part of the world, completely brand new place. Had to immerse herself in a new culture, had her own business as well as an entrepreneur, had to adjust that and make that work, as a lot of people have had to pivot in the pandemic. So always got time, and people like that drive me, because I just, anyone who's doing something that I think is inspiring or breaking the mold or a bit outside the box, and they're just controlling that environment.
You spoke about, just moving and taking on new challenges. And I think that's something that we've all got to be comfortable with it. Change. I love a quote that says, when change is necessary, not to change is destructive. I think we've all got to experience change at some point. We've got to just get up and say, you know what, this is not working for me anymore. I've got to make a change and make that change. And, you'll heal, man. If you're hurt about who you've left behind, you'll heal eventually. If you'll meet new people and they might be better for you, you'll get a new job. It will work. Just take that leap, man. Do it. Do what Jake did. Pack up and leave. Go.
That's it.
Don't fail.
Exactly as you said earlier. If you said if they're not helping you on the way, then they're in the way, right? Is that what you said? Yeah, I think that's what you said. Yeah, John Leslie quote. John Leslie quote is Les Brown's firstborn son, I believe, or second, and that goes to things as well, not just people. It's environments, it's circumstances. You know, if it's not helping you on the way, then it's in the way, and you need to either make a drastic change and move away from it, or just step back at it and figure out what's not working and make some adjustments. And if it's something you know you really enjoy, it really inspires you and drives you and gives a positive impact to you in the macro, in the whole, then perhaps there's just a few clicks and a few minor adjustments that need to be made there to make it work. But yeah, I think it's easy to just keep plodding along, you know, and
doing the same thing every day. Do you know what I mean? And
sorry.
It's so easy to do the same thing every day. Do you know what I mean? But you know, just being able to get up and go somewhere else because it's not working for you, that takes courage. You know, courage, like I said, courage is an old French word that means from the heart, off the heart. So you've got to have the heart to do it, man. Just get up and go. I believe, you know, I always say this, you know, not a lot of people will understand me when I say it, or what. Not a lot of people have understood what I meant to say. But I believe life is like a cookout, you know. You're all given a plate, and it's up to you to just go around and put on your plate what you'll enjoy. And that's what life is. So that's what I think, man. People just got to walk around with a plate. And if rice doesn't work for you, then don't put it on the plate. I mean,
yeah, that's a cool way to put it. Everyone can relate to. That's funnily enough easily digestible. Morrice, let's talk about what you're doing now, brother, because I know you studied public relations, right?
Right.
Was that at university?
Yep.
In America.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you kind of got into the speaking stuff, and then you came out the other side of that, and that's gave you the courage and confidence to push forward in what you studied in. And of course, you've got a background with football that kind of, or soccer for anyone who's watching who doesn't, you know, like football in the. Let's just make this clear right now. It's football in the UK. It always has been. It's a round ball that you play with your feet. Always will be. Anywhere else, soccer. Yeah. So wherever you're watching from, just to clarify. Morrice has, you know, he was a soccer player for a few years there, and then you've kind of wrapped the two up there, haven't you? Kind of joined them in a way now.
Well, wait, say that again.
I said you were a football player for a while, right? You're a soccer player,
right. Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of wrapped that up with what you did studying PR and publicist journalism now.
Right. So now I actually want to be the number one publicist in the world. So if you're a publicist and you're watching this, you can either join me or I don't know what you've gone. But anyways, I want to be a publicist, man. I want to be the number one publicist in the world. So I'm working on that. You know, I've been doing my thing over at Paradigm Public Relations. So if you need a publicist, go to paradigmpr.com and you know, start me there, and we can connect. But I want to be a journalist, sport journalist, and sport publicist. That's the goal, you know. So there you have it. You know?
I love the name Paradigm PR. How did you come up with that?
How did I come up with that? You know, I've been in and out of the names. I was going to call it Proactive PR, but I don't know. It was between Proactive PR and Paradigm PR, and somehow I loved Proactive PR more, but I ended up with Paradigm PR. I don't know.
I'm glad you went with Paradigm PR. It rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah, there we go. Paradigm PR.
They always say when you start a new business and you're coming up with a name, you got to do what you call the phone test. So you call 10 people and you just drop it in conversation. And if they go, what did you say? Like 3 or 4 times, then you know it's not a good one. It's got to just be able to flow off the tongue and people will be able to get it and understand it straight away.
Definitely. So that's true. You know, I don't know. Maybe I don't feel bad with Proactive PR anymore. Maybe I don't feel bad, but that's the goal. I want to represent some of the best athletes in the world. I am already working on that, so I want to continue to do that. And you're gonna need a PR team at the radio game, man.
Oh, mate, I've already got one. This is in front of me. I'll make it happen.
For those of you who are watching, I don't think Jake gets enough credit. So let me take the mic for a second, yeah, and cheers. Listen, man, I want to thank you, man, for what you've been doing. I mean, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. From the first day I met you in the program, and then you made the Facebook group and invited me, and then we went speaking practice all together, and all of these things. I think, man, you're built on brilliance, man, and you've definitely been moving in the direction. You're in control of what you want. You're not sitting back and just letting things happen. You're definitely taking the wheel. So I commend you for that. I've seen you've been doing your podcast. You've been doing so many things, and obviously it's bringing positivity to so many people. I mean, I've been meaning to be on for a while. It's an honor. It's absolute honor to be on here sharing this platform with you. Do you know what I mean? So,
bro, thanks, man. Thanks so much for your comments. I really respect and appreciate that. I knew from the second I seen you in that first Power Voice program, I was like, when you just see something like, got to connect with this guy. He's got drive. I like the way he speaks. I like the way he carries himself. And I knew from them, man. I knew we'd connect. I knew. Sometimes you just know when you see someone, you're like, I'm going to connect with this guy. We're going to have some fun. And we have had We had a lot of fun, man. We're always talking on the phone and that, and passing stuff back and forth. So, yeah, I still think we'll share the stage one day. We talked about perhaps, doing in Jamaica with helping the kids there. I'd love to move forward with that idea at some point when the time is right, because
right.
That's the thing. Yeah, I tell you what, that's another thing I've learned very recently. When the time is right, and that cannot be forced, cannot be pushed. Sometimes I think when you try and force it, you just end up with a negative result. Ultimately, It's that. And you just gotta have faith and step back and give it some time.
True, 100%. I've actually got to get you on my MSB show.
Yeah, Instagram. That's Instagram Live. Yeah,
that's Instagram Live.
I look forward to that. Definitely.
We're gonna get you on there, share some gems as well.
Now I got to ask you this question, which is funnily enough, someone. There we go. Malcolm Free asked, "What is the definition of hustle?" And I will ask you the same. What is the definition of hustle, and what, Morrice, drives your hunger for it?
Hustle. What's the definition of hustle? I think hustle is a desire and a phase. And it's a desire to go after the things that you want, that your life depends on. And it's a phase that the longer you can, it's a phase where you act on that desire. That's what I think. Is
nice. I like it. It's a different answer. I've never had an answer like that before. Every time I ask it, I get a different answer. That sounds like a stupid thing to say because I'm asking different people. But it's interesting how just one word can be perceived and defined in so many different ways, and that just plays out to show that everyone's unique, right? And everyone has their own way of looking at things. What's driven your hunger for the hustle, though? Because when you moved from one country to another and you thought, I wasn't happy here, so I'm going to move on and try something new.
My mom is a massive part of why I do everything I do. My mom is my wife. She's, I still around this quote I heard from by Abraham Lincoln. He said that all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I always am my mom. And my mom is my wife, 100%. Mom.
So your mom drives you hunger for the hustle?
Yeah, definitely. My mom drives my hunger for the hustle, yeah.
I share that with you, man. I'll be straight out here. I'm a mum's boy. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4", 200 pounds. When it comes down to it, I'm a mummy's boy. And that's how it is, and I've got no problem admitting that.
You're 6'4"?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I look short on the camera, but I'm actually 6'4".
Mate, you're 6'4".
Isn't that interesting as well? Because you meet people online and you can see as many pictures and different stuff as you do, but you never actually get to figure out what the actual physical size of him is until you see him. I tell you, it was like I went to an Arnold Classic show, Arnold Schwarzenegger's bodybuilding. It's like a sports festival essentially. It used to be bodybuilding, and I remember seeing him in real life, and he wasn't that far away. It was probably a few minutes away, and thinking, man, he's a lot shorter than I thought, and he's got boots on. So it's about perception, isn't it? And I think that can you can definitely be a lot different to what you think it is in the flesh.
Mate, I would have never thought you were 6'4", man.
Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed that you didn't think that.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a shock when you meet me.
God, you know what? I've always said this: if I was 6'4", I'd go to the UFC. You know.
Talking to UFC, Conor McGregor's fighting tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know too much about it. I don't know enough about it to make it a form an opinion. I don't think.
No.
I mean, I'd like Conor to win because it's comeback time, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think first 3 rounds will be in Conor's hands, but anything after that, Dustin's got a chance to.
Is it still? Are they still doing it with no crowd?
Now they're letting people in, but not a lot.
Okay, well that's better because I really struggled to watch fights with no crowd.
Yeah,
it was nice because you could hear people getting hit. That was kind of cool, but it was just like, where's the vibe?
Right.
There's no vibe here. Even if you're in a packed venue, it's still kind of hard to get the vibe.
True.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. This whole thing is just so different, man. It's just so different. But I think we've just got to adjust to it and keep going.
Yeah. I mean, what can you do? Whatever your opinion or perspective of it is, the world keeps spinning. Yeah, the sun keeps rising, it keeps setting. So you might as well just keep on in your lane, keep on focusing on what you were doing, read them goals, and just go for them, strive for them. It's hard. It's easy to say, don't let the environment control you, particularly in this situation. But you know, it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. But if you can do one thing's for sure, if you could do it last year in this time, you can do it this year in this time, and you can do it going forward at any time. Because I mean, this stuff's bottomed out. I believe this stuff's bottomed out now. I don't think it can get any worse. Like vaccines come in, whether you choose to have it or not, whatever. But I mean, at least seems to be a road out of it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there'll be some impact, particularly for businesses and things like that. But you know, nothing's actually stopping you from going forth and achieving your goals. You just got to take a different approach to doing them, to getting them.
True, 100%.
Yeah, there's a lot of growth and lessons to be learned in that, a lot of value in it.
Yeah, I want to say this though. You know, for those of you who are going through this time, we're all going through it. And I want to pass to you on something Les has said. He says, don't come up with permanent solutions for temporary people. You know, so whatever you're going through, man, understand that, you know, because days are coming. Understand that this too shall pass. So I encourage you. You know, he also said in life, whether going towards a problem, in a problem, or coming out of a problem. So in this case, we are in a problem. And, you know, there's only, if you're going for a fire and you stop, you're going to get burnt. So keep going. The fire ends.
Yeah, I like that. I think we'll wrap up on that. I think that's a poignant moment to wrap up on.
There we go. Hey, listen.
There we go. Morrice, I know you spend, I'll put your website in here as well. I know you spend most of your time online on Instagram, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So there is Morrice's links in the comments if anyone wants to connect with this fantastic, driven, motivated young man who doesn't let anything stop him. You just go through it.
Paradigm C5.com.
What is it? Paradigm
C5. Complex 5. Clear, concise, compelling, consistent.
ParadigmC5.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's there.
Boom.
I'm just proud that I know how to spell paradigm because that took me a while to figure out.
Do you know what? Between me and you, yeah, that's why I didn't want to name the paradigm.
Okay.
I was struggling to spell it as well.
Well, that's what Google's for, yeah. That's what I like about Google. You don't even have to type stuff in properly these days. You just put what you think and it figures it out for you.
Google will read your mind, innit? So
pretty much.
Definitely. Jake, thanks for having me, man. And you know, continue to act in a spirit of absolute certainty, as Les would say.
Man, you know what I say? Greatness only. Greatness only, capital letters.
There we go.
That's it. We'll just wrap up on that, guys. Thank you for listening, wherever you're listening from, or whatever you're listening on. If you've enjoyed the show, please like it, share it, comment with some friends who would enjoy it too, and subscribe. I would love you forever if you did that. Stay hungry, keep hustling.